Hello again! One last video for the day that I wanted to post just because I have a little bit of time before I need to go pick up my son, and I figure at some point if people start watching they are going to start asking questions about my hair. I just washed it and I figure, well, you know, just I'll try to keep it short and sweet and simple and just kind of give an FYI out there to everybody about my hair and what it is that I do with it. I have naturally curly hair. Yes, this is mine. I am graying, so I do get my hair colored. However, the curl, I pretty much just, you know, leave it to its own devices and it decides to do whatever it is it wants to do. I usually air dry it. I will only use a hair dryer if I'm in a hurry and I need to be somewhere where, like, you know, at work, and it really needs to be like dry. But even then, when I use a hair dryer, I do not dry it entirely. I will probably just maybe even get it to this point and then just let the rest air dry. I do not use shampoo in my hair. I co-wash, which is a short way to say conditioner wash. I've been doing this since November, since Thanksgiving. I wasn't sure if it was going to work out. However, I love it, and I will probably never go back to using shampoo again. And basically it's the same thing as, like, you know, shampooing, but I'm using conditioner to wash and scrub my hair instead of shampoo. So it's like I just skip that first step. The shampoo, I get very oily scalp. I get, you know, flaky. I have a lot of sebum that builds up. But my hair, because it's so curly, it tends to get very dry and it'll split and it'll just, you know, get damaged. And shampoo just exacerbates that, and it really doesn't help. So I thought, oh, you know, I'll try co-washing and see if it makes a difference. And miraculously, yeah, it does. I use certain conditioners, and the conditioner, whatever detergents it has in it, works very effectively to, like, you know, get rid of all the sebum and everything and clean my scalp while not drying out my hair at the same time. So it's like a win-win situation for me. I've been using a couple different things. My favorite thing to use is the VO5 Moisture Milk in strawberry. I thought that I had an empty bottle, but I don't. But it's, like, you know, one of the cheapest conditioners that you could possibly buy at the store. I mean, here at the Navy Exchange, I think it's like 79 cents. So I can, like, you know, buy tons of these bottles and go, and I use a lot of it, and I can go through it pretty quickly. And not feel guilty or bad because I'm only spending 79 cents a bottle. The other one I've been using lately is the Tresemme Naturals, and it doesn't really matter which one. They have, like, you know, different ones. This one is Nourishing Moisture Conditioner. Nourishing Moisture Conditioner. I've also used one of the other ones. They're very similar. They work the same. And this one is thicker consistency than the Moisture Milk, which is kind of why I prefer the Moisture Milk, because I like a thinner conditioner because I feel like I can get it better into my scalp. However, what I do with this is that after I've used a little bit, I just add water and shake it up just to make it a little bit thinner, so it's a little bit, like, you know, easier for me to work with. And I basically just, you know, I get my hair wet, my whole head. I kind of part my hair, you know, all the way, and I just get a whole bunch of conditioner in here and scrub, 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 and then I'll, you know, put my hair aside and kind of do the same thing on the side and scrub, scrub, scrub. Repeat over here, turn my head over, like, you know, repeat down there, and then I'm just basically massaging, and I just massage, 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 and get it all in there really good. And I don't even worry about really getting it down towards the ends at first. And then I'll just kind of, like, you know, leave it there. I have some clips, so I can, like, you know, clip my hair up while I'm, like, you know, washing the rest of me. And then sometimes I'll have, like, a heavier conditioner, which I will then put on the lower half of my hair so I can, like, you know, get out all the tangles. And I only use my fingers to detangle. I don't use any combs or brushes at all, pretty much ever. So I do all my detangling, like, you know, pretty much in the shower. And then when I'm done, I rinse it all. And at that point, I flip my head over while I'm still in the shower, and I use about 3 different products to, you know, prepare my hair before it gets dry. And the first product that I use is the Shea Moisture Coconut and Hibiscus Curl and Style Milk for thick curly hair. And this I bought at the Navy Exchange, and it was, I think, $9.99. I haven't seen it there lately. The brand is still there. I don't know if they're planning on ordering any more or what's going on. Hopefully they will be getting more in. If not, then I'm going to have to find something else. That's fine. So that's the first thing I use. And so I have my hair over, and I pretty much get that all in my hair. I consider it a light leave-in conditioner. It's just something to like give some moisture back to my hair. And my hair is still pretty sopping wet at this point also. And then I'll kind of just like, squeeze a little bit of that excess water out. And then lately, I got a sample of this Healthy Sexy Hair Soy Tri-Wheat leave-in conditioner through one of my Ipsy bags, and I've actually been really enjoying this. So then I take this, and while my head is still down and my hair is over, I spritz this all in my hair, and that gives back some of the moisture that I just squeegeed out of my hair. So my hair is still, it's pretty wet. And then the last thing that I use is another Shea Moisture product called Curling Gel Souffle, the Coconut and Hibiscus Curling Gel Souffle. And I don't grab too much of it. You can see it's kind of like this gel, goopy consistency. It reminds me of a kid's thing. I don't remember what. But anyway, so I'll scoop like a little bit, into my palm of my hand, and I'll kind of get it all over my hand, and with my hair still turned over, I will then just really scrunch it into the lower half of my hair. I do not want to get it near my roots because I don't want a buildup of product up here, because that tends to, one, weigh down my hair, and two, it causes excess sebum and that that dry flakiness that I do get in my scalp. So I'll kind of, let's see if we can do this. So yeah, I'll just kind of have my head turned over. Where am I? And I'll just kind of scrunch it just down into the bottom of my hair. And my hair is still pretty wet at that point, which is what I want. I want it to be as wet as possible, because that is what makes it dry in a defined curly way and helps it from not frizzing, and kind of looking nuts, because it will do that. So that is pretty much that as far as my hair goes. Since we have been here, I pretty much just get trims. I'm very particular about who cuts my hair. Not trim wise. I mean, anybody can trim my hair. I could even trim my own hair. But if I wanted a particular style or I wanted to go shorter, I would have to really, really, really know the stylist and trust them. I had somebody awesome in Virginia Beach, and and I'm willing to pay more money for somebody who I know is going to do a really good job. Here, I'm not entirely certain. Melba, she is the one who usually does my color, and she does trim my hair. She is very good. I do highly recommend Melba. And I actually think she probably would do a pretty decent job with, cutting my hair shorter and giving it some sort of more of a style. But I think right now my focus is just on letting it grow out. I don't really think I want to do anything crazy with it at this point. I kind of what's happening with it. As long as I get little trims on the ends, then I think I'm good. And there is somebody else who I know of who I don't have experience with, but everybody I know who has gone to her loves her. And I don't have permission to say her name, but if somebody will message me, then I can kind of give you some information possibly about her. And yeah, that's really just what I wanted to talk about, was my hair, because I figured at some point people are going to be asking questions. So when I filmed this earlier, I realized that I forgot to say a couple things about co-washing, about the method that I use, that are kind of important. There were two particular things. One is that I don't use any products which have silicones in them whatsoever. Certain silicones are okay, and they are water soluble, like I think PEG 13 dimethicone or something like that. I don't know. I will put it in the down bar in the about section. I'll kind of explain some things, and then also when I sleep at night, I I do what's called pineappling. I take my hair and I use a scrunchie, and which looks like this. So it's basically, you know, a hair band, but it has the fabric over it. And what I do is I turn my head upside down, which I will do now. Oh, and by the way, this is 3 hours later. I actually went out and ran some errands, and so this is what my hair looks like when it is completely dry. And if I flip my head over right now and I actually kind of like, you know, wiggle my hands through the roots, it'll get a little bit fuller, and maybe I'll kind of do that first just to show you. So let's see, here I am, and I'm just kind of fluffing out the roots, flip, and now I've got bigger hair, slightly bigger anyway, not huge. So when I pineapple, I just basically do the same thing. I take my hair and I flip it over, and I just gather it smack on top of my head, and I do that. And I don't double over the scrunchie. I only leave it once because I want to, let me get back so you can really see it, because I want to not constrict my hair. Like if I used one of these guys, like right here, which I used to do. I used to use like one of these, and I would like, you know, tie it up in a top knot, and I would like, you know, double it over and sometimes even triple it over. Then what happens in the morning, this is all kind of pulled, not straight, but it gets just, you know, it just, once I take it out, it just looks all out of whack. It looks like this is kind of like weird wavy straight, and then this is all like, you know, a big, you know, fluffy mess. So doing this and not doubling this over, it just has enough, I don't know, gentleness or something like that. I can sleep like this all night long, and I can actually get about 2 or 3 days worth of wear out of this hair. So without washing it again. So I don't wash my hair for days, like, you know, 4 days, sometimes 5 days, like, you know, in a row. So I'm going to take that back out. And yeah, and none of the products that I use, whether it's the conditioners that I wash my hair with or my styling products that I use after, have cones in them, like, you know, dimethicone. And that is not because I have anything against, like, you know, dimethicone or silicones. I don't. But it's because they leave this buildup in your hair. And the only way to really permanently get rid of that buildup is if you use, like, you know, a harsher shampoo, which I don't want to use, because I don't want to use shampoo because I don't want my hair to dry out. So, so I try to stay away from silicones as much as possible, and I really noticed a difference. And the other thing that I didn't like when I used silicones was that you would always leave that film on your hands after you were done styling your hair, and then you have to use, like, you know, a lot of soap and water to get it off. And now I don't have that issue at all. It's, you know, when I rinse my hands, they rinse clean, and I don't have that, like, yucky buildup on my hands. So, and while I was out earlier, since I am kind of running low on my Curl and Style Milk, the light leave-in conditioner that I like, and this is another one that I used to use also, the Chi Straight Guard, which did a pretty good job of being, like, you know, a light leave-in conditioner. I picked up Paul Mitchell's The Conditioner, which is a classic. I used to use this in my teens, actually, and it's the original The Conditioner. It's probably the one that started the entire leave-in conditioning movement back in the 80s. And it does not have any silicones in it. And so I used to adore this, and I'm really kind of excited to start using it again. And I also just picked up a volumizing dry shampoo by Big Sexy Hair, because I want to see if maybe I can get a little more volume at the roots on certain days and see if that'll kind of like, you know, help out. And as you can see, I do still have frizziness. See if I can kind of like, you know, get in here so you can see. So, you know, and that doesn't really bother me. My intention is not to 100% get rid of, like, you know, the frizzies. I don't expect that that's going to happen. I really just want like all this to not be like super frizzy, and I just want, you know, just curl definition and, you know, just to not look a mess, which I think, you know, it does a pretty good job of doing. So that's it. Adios. Thank you for watching.